Welcome to the Millionaire Way podcast with Sargam, the Energy Guru. I help successful people connect with their inner abundance using principles of energy to unlock their true potential, helping them create massive success in their personal and professional life so that they can live their greatness. I firmly believe that abundance is a state of being, and each one of us can tune to create a life of prosperity and happiness. Welcome to the show. Hi, Meher. Welcome to the Millionaire Way Show podcast. I hope you're doing well.
Yes, I'm doing fantastic. Thank you so much for having me.
You're most welcome. You look phenomenal today.
Thank you.
So, Meher, I want to know about your early life and how did you started off on your journey of entrepreneurship?
So I believe entrepreneurship is in my blood. I come from a family business. So my father is an entrepreneur. A lot of my family members are entrepreneurs. So I think it was a very organic decision, if I may, that we develop and become something we see as growing up. So I think it was just a natural progression into what I wanted to be. I have seen garments, manufacturing, everything on the floor of a manufacturing industry, and that's what excited me. And I took to fashion design and marketing in my degree and launched my label Meher and Ridhima in 2002.
Okay, so as an entrepreneur and as a woman, what do you think are the major challenges that any woman faces, when she embarks on the journey of being an entrepreneur herself?
So as a role of a woman, I believe we have to juggle and wear many hats. And there are a lot of expectations with us. So the feeling of, I feel pushed or challenged is inbuilt, or, the belief system or the social subconscious programming is such that, that dilemma that are we going to be able to do both is always there. But for me, it was a bit easier because I saw my mom do it. My mom is a very successful entrepreneur here in Dubai. And since she was so successful at every stage of her life and every area of her life, I didn't think it would be difficult for me. So I didn't take it as a challenge. I believed it was my path as well to do something meaningful in life, be it contributing to people's life through being an entrepreneur or being an author or whatever roles I play today.
Yeah, beautiful. Also, your journey with the kind of book that you've written, your journey as a mother, like I know, as a daughter, as I know, it requires a lot to, stay rooted, grounded. So do you have your own spiritual practices that you, go through in order to keep yourself cool, calm, composed in, playing so many different roles in your life?
Absolutely. So luckily and fortunately enough, I have a spiritual master that I have been kind of born into. It was my mom's spiritual master, and I resonated with the path and followed it. And I got married to a man who also follows the same path. Wow. So that was something very consistent in my life. So that power of the universe is something I always felt. I always felt that somebody is there to guide me, and I am very much in line with what is wanted. But somewhere along the, like they say, you forget what you're here for. So I didn't practice. My early years, I didn't practice. We are expected to practice meditation and a few other rituals as part of this path, but I didn't practice it. And hence I was very lost in my early years, which I also write in my book, Come Alive, Don't Just Exist. However, I got back on the path about 4-5 years ago. I started meditating, started taking care of myself, started connecting to myself, started reading, journaling, prioritizing myself and my individual journey. And that's where I started my transformation.
Beautiful. And I also see somewhere you've written a healer. So is there a modality that you practice, or, do you do it through your work? How do you practice healing?
Yes, yes. So in 2017, through a friend's guidance,
Mhm.
sorry, not 2017, 2009, through a friend's guidance, I took to theta healing.
Oh, wow.
And theta healing is a path that works on your subconscious programming. The modality talks about beliefs, about limiting beliefs, how to erase them, how to dissolve them, and actually reprogram yourself to help you serve your mission on this earth better. So I learned that early on in my life in 2009. But then again, like we are, didn't practice it. I didn't practice it every single day. And what I also learned along my journey, that consistency is key. Something you don't practice every single day, you will not be able to connect. It's like taking a shower or brushing your teeth. If you do not take a shower, you will feel smelly and sticky, and you will feel dirty. And that's exactly with the mind and the soul. If you don't practice connecting with yourself, if you don't practice your daily meditation or the path that you need to be at, then you will feel disconnected. And that's what happened to me, on and off, up until about 5 years ago, when I was not ready to be a victim anymore. And I wanted to take charge of my life and be a victor. And that's when I started meditating every single day.
Wow. So you were talking about these limiting beliefs. So what were your limiting beliefs when it came to, your work or your life that probably, moved you in the direction of healing?
So I had a very strong limiting belief of I am not enough. And I didn't love myself for who I was. And this actually came to surface when I did a past life regression therapy session. I didn't know. I kept feeling something is missing. Even after I got married to the man I love, I felt something was missing. All along my journey, I felt something was missing. And it was so deep that it put me in so much pain for so many years of my life. But I couldn't see it. I couldn't understand what was that one belief. I was working on so many beliefs because I took to theta healing in 2007. And from then, I had erased so many beliefs. But this one belief that I am not enough and I don't love myself was missed out. I had not worked on it at all. And I kept suffering for, I want to say 13 or 14 years of my life. It was like I was in a prison. I didn't know why I was convicted. I didn't know what was the release date. And all I did is wait for the time to come so I could be reborn into the life I desire. I didn't even know it was possible to be reborn in the same life and be the person you want to be by just shifting your mindset and shifting your beliefs.
Wow. Self-love is so cliched. When you talk about self-love to people, they say, oh, I know about it. But you discussing this and, telling about your journey, I'm sure it's going to inspire so many people to look within and, question their own beliefs about loving themselves or not being enough. It might sound very, something very small, not being enough, but it can create a big void within us, and we can keep, we can be in the journey of accumulating stuff or, creating relationships that will, heal us or complete us. But what is required is, loving yourself and feeling enough. And I think that's where your beautiful book Come Alive comes in. So share about your journey of authoring this book, and I'm sure it has brought a lot of healing and transformation for people around you and those who are reading it. So how did this book come up in your life?
So it was exactly at the time of my transformation. Once I had experienced my transformation, it was magic. And I couldn't keep it to me. I felt the magic I have always wanted to feel. I didn't know how beautiful life could be once you are in love with yourself, once you're connected to yourself. Like you said, self love is cliched, but how many of us are loving ourselves fully? How many of us are actually working on our personal growth? How many of us are actually meditating, taking care of our soul, taking care of our mind to live a life which we desire and to become the better version of ourselves every single day? How many of us are actually doing it? So, the awareness might be there, but people are still not pushing themselves to do the work it takes to be there. And this is what the book is about. It's about the phase process, the 5-step process to self love. We have to be patient during this entire process, and it will get you there. It's not so simple as just doing affirmations or just doing a little bit of yoga or meditation. It's about doing everything to serve yourself, living consciously, and understanding that you are your number one priority. So the 5-phase process written in the book starts with knowing yourself. The first is knowing yourself. What are you doing to know yourself? It is exactly like the courtship with another. You need to spend time with yourself to understand who you are, what are you made up of, what are your likes, what are your dislikes. So spending time with yourself, within yourself, to understand yourself is number one. Number two is trying to understand your self-limiting beliefs. What are these beliefs that are holding you back, that are not serving you? Growing up in a household with parents, grandparents, so many other influences, we tend to take on so many beliefs that are not ours. They are not even meant for us. Your mom's beliefs becomes your belief. Your grandmom's belief becomes your belief. Don't eat this with this. Don't wear this with this. And they have no, don't cut, like in Hindus and Indians, they're like, don't cut your nails in the night, or many things as such. After sunset, do not cut your nails. Of course, they must be having some relevance, but we tend to follow things without understanding. Once you understand, it is okay to follow, but there are many limiting beliefs that make us not who we are meant to be. And this is what happened with me, probably because my mom's number one priority was to take care of the children and her husband and her in-laws, and that's what I thought was my priority. I mean, and we come from different generations. So there was probably no correlation to it, but I believe that doing this duty and by being who my mother was, taking care of everything else, I would be fulfilled. But sadly, it was not true. So we need to evaluate and understand our limiting beliefs. That's number two. Number three is being able to let go, dissolving the beliefs. Number three is dissolving the beliefs, reprogramming yourself, basically rebuilding yourself from scratch. It's like we need to unlearn to learn, kind of. So that was number three. Number four was letting go. Number four is letting go of everything that doesn't serve you, which includes habits, people, thoughts, activities. We do so many things without understanding that if it's serving you or not. Is it aligned with your journey? Is it aligned with your thoughts, your energy? So number four is actually letting go of everything that doesn't serve you. And number five is finally falling in love with yourself for who you are once you have actually peeled all the layers. So it's a process, and we need to be patient with it, because every phase will take months or maybe even a year to understand and to let go. And it's daily reflections.
Yes.
And something could prop up again, like you might feel uncomfortable with a comment from your friend or your colleague or your husband or your in-laws or your parents, and then you need to understand, why are you feeling uncomfortable? You need to evaluate. So it's a continuous process of understanding yourself, dissolving beliefs, removing beliefs, letting go, and finally finally falling in love with yourself.
Yeah, it's a beautiful process. And, even for my clients, these things really make a difference. Like you said, it's a journey. Healing is a journey. Loving yourself is a journey. But people start thinking it, like you did it today and you might not have to do it tomorrow. Right. So it's a process, it's a habit. And your book puts that together very beautifully. So another question, most of the people think self-love is all about, people who are probably in the field of healing, or, are working on self-development. How are these actually practically applicable in leadership or in business? Because you coming from that background, I'm sure a lot could have been opened up using your process, even in the boardroom. So
Yes,
can you share
absolutely.
something about that?
Absolutely. So my second book is actually going to outline and go deep in this philosophy that you cannot separate yourself from your business.
Yes.
You need to love yourself, to lead authentically, to lead with love, to connect with people. A business is all about connections. It's about how you connect with your stakeholders, how you connect with your partners, how you connect with everybody. And you cannot connect with anybody until you are not connected to yourself. Until you don't love yourself fully, you will lack the confidence, you will lack the conviction to be the leader you desire to be. And even to move things, to take things to the next level, you need to lead with the culture of the organization. And the culture of the organization cannot just be words, they have to be aligned to yourself. The culture of any organization has to be a living and a breathing and an alive story, kind of. So you have to identify with it, you have to live it in order to serve your organization. And this is what I talk in my second book. And it is very simple. The more connected you are, the more in love with you are with yourself, the more you will be able to contribute to your business and grow your business from a place of authenticity. You will not let ego, judgment, you will not let power, fame, all these things come in the way of your success. So it also goes down to as small as, communicating with love. Like, one of our values in our organization is love, empathy, respect. We have 6 values we hold. So every time we write an email, I'm evaluating if we are speaking with our stakeholder with all those values in mind. Are we honoring our values while we are talking to each other? So it's again a process, exactly like the personal process. It's a process, and it's work in progress. As leaders also, we are work in progress, and we need to realize we need to be patient, but we need to honor those things. And you are only able to honor them when you are honoring your own personal self, when you are connected to yourself, when you're in love with yourself. Then you are unstoppable. You can feel the magic in your personal life, you can, create the magic in your company. So it's linked, it cannot be separate. In fact, I have a lot of clients who say that I cannot be the same in the house and at work. And I challenge them. I was like, why can't you give the same love to your colleagues and your team members the way you can give to your children? Because with all the awareness about emotional intelligence, the business is also emotional. It is a thriving, living organization. It's not machine operated. Like, even if you include so many machines and computers, there are people behind those, and those people need to be served, loved, taken care of. So it's very, very important to understand that the more connected you are, the more connection, love, kindness, empathy, compassion you will be able to give. So it's what you have, how full you are. You can't pour from an empty cup. So you have to be working on yourself to be able to give that to your company.
So beautifully said, Meher. And I think, conscious business or conscious leadership is the way forward to a more loving world. We've only seen consciousness or, self-love or these things associated with individuals as of now. But I think the way forward is to create conscious entities, thriving communities. And I'm sure, I must congratulate for your upcoming book. And I hope, it is read by millions of people, because this is what is needed. In my work on business chakras, we talk about heart-based business, heart-aligned business, soul-aligned business. And this can only happen if one is ready to do this inner work, is ready to connect with with themselves first in order to share it with all the people who are working for them. So I so look forward to, this work coming up. And okay, one more question that I have is, when we talk about success, people think in terms of money. Most of the time, people want to become a millionaire or a billionaire. That's how they see success. But for you, as a conscious leader, what do you think is the energetic blueprint of success? What should be the energy of success for somebody who is consciously living their mission and vision?
I think it's growth in all areas. It's growth on your soul level, personal level, and of course, the growth of the business. Everything counts. But it's very important to understand that your personal success will always supersede your professional success. So, the work you do with yourself, the alignment, the fulfillment, the happiness cannot come from the outside. You cannot tell yourself that once my company reaches $1 billion, I will be happy. It doesn't work that way. You have to be happy with today. You have to be happy with the work you are doing. You have to be happy with the contribution you are making to your team members, your stakeholders, and that will lead. Success in monetary form is a byproduct of your work and fulfillment. It's not the other way around. Once you become monetary successful, you cannot be happy. It doesn't work like that. But I think, unfortunately, the world teaches us something else. The schools teach us something else. They focus so much on the success, on the career way, that we forget that success internally is more important, because only then will you be able to be successful financially. So I feel it's very simple, but it's probably missing. I hope the school systems now are adopting and are aware to cultivate this in the education system, that money or power or fame is a byproduct of you loving what you do, of you being in love with yourself, of you enjoying the journey.
And I'm sure, the people who will be listening this podcast, this is coming from somebody who have it all. She has a good business. She probably has those millions of dollars to support. But today you talking about, growth in every area of our life, or self-love, or even, I'll come to that topic, the forgiveness Fridays that you do, that's an interesting practice. And I think it is so important for people to practice forgiveness consciously. And I see that regularly on your Instagram. You're doing it very regularly, and it's a very sweet way of introducing people to forgiveness, especially your people who go through your feed. So, let's talk about forgiveness, and how it can bring deep healing for people, and how can it help.
So forgiveness is basically, gratitude is powerless without forgiveness. And I think there's not enough being said on it. Of course, a lot of people talk about forgiveness, but we need to understand that however grateful you are, but if you're not forgiving yourself, others, then you will not be able to move forward in life. Because forgiveness is an act of forgiving someone, but not because of them. It is for yourself. It is to serve yourself. It is to release any kind of resentment, any kind of guilt, any kind of negative charge that you have for the other person. So you are doing a favor on yourself by forgiving and letting go, to grow and to release any kind of energetic bonds that you have with this other person. So it's very important to keep forgiving people who, you have a conflict with, even in business, even otherwise at home, with anybody, with your kids. And of course, topmost is with yourself. You sometimes do things, say things that you later on reflect and say, oh, I shouldn't have done it. So forgive yourself, and it is okay, because we are all work in progress. However much you have progressed in life, you are still a work in progress. Like the many gurus say, that we are just a speck of dirt in this entire universe. So what are we so proud of? What are we so egoistic about? It's about today. Live today to your best self. So forgive people around you, forgive yourself for anything you have messed up. And I believe it starts with you. When you are able to forgive yourself, you will easily be able to forgive everybody else around you.
Yeah, so rightly said, because the compassion that you have for yourself is what you can show to others. So start with yourself. I think for the entire podcast, people will have to listen again and again, because there is so much being shared, and there is so much depth in this particular podcast that probably people will be hooked on to it. So one more question, Meher. If you were to choose one practice, or one tool out of the many that we've discussed, which would be your favorite tool or process when it comes to mastering your inner game?
So I think number one is meditation,
Mhm.
because meditation involves knowing yourself, understanding yourself, releasing. It's like, it happens automatically. The more you connect with yourself, the more wisdom you gain, the more awareness you gain. So meditation, I think, is still untapped. The more people talk about meditation, I feel the less it is, because even if I go out today and between four people, not even one meditates. So I don't know what's the ratio going on right now, even though there is so much awareness. People are like, we can't do it. We can't do it. I'm having conversations with people over and over again over years, and they're like, I just can't do beyond 11 minutes. I can't do beyond 10 minutes. I mean, it's about training your mind. It's about understanding that how it can become your superpower, how meditation and connection with yourself will make you feel the magic in life. I mean, it's like, until you don't have a baby, you don't know the joy of motherhood. So until you don't meditate, I will not be able to express the love you can have for yourself, and how beautiful and magical this life will feel. So number one is meditation. I mean, even to become a more clear and a more confident leader, meditation is number one for me.
Yeah, no, I completely resonate with you. I say, connect with the I am within. So meditation is nothing but connecting with the I am within, and it is far more greater than connecting with anybody on this planet, even to the best of mentors, to the best of coaches. But if you don't know yourself, if you're not able to have a good connection with yourself, you will fall short of success. Wherever at any point you are, there. Of your success at any step of the ladder, but if you do not have that connection within, you need to tap it.
Yes. No, I mean, it gives you authentic power to lead your company. And then it's like, the people you're inspiring people every day.
Absolutely.
When you become that person you aspire to be, you are inspiring other leaders in your organization. And it's all about inspiration in life. It's about how you are leading, how intrinsically motivated you are. These are the things that work in business. And when you are intrinsically motivated, you are creating and allowing people around you to do that, because it's all coming from within. And that only happens when you connect with yourself and you meditate. I mean, there is no other formula. It's so simple. The formula is there, but you have to just take the first step.
Beautiful. Yeah, absolutely right. So Meher, you have two beautiful daughters, right? So
Yes.
so how do you take these practices to your kids? How do you share it with your kids? Because I feel every conscious person on this planet, or anybody who has experienced themselves, I think the only way we can pass this information, and I'm sure you hold so much depth, through our children.
Yes.
So how do you make them practice, or do they practice with you?
So absolutely, we do journaling very often together. That's one thing I feel also helps reflection,
Mhm.
helps being grateful, helps the forgiveness aspect to come in. So they have journals. They have a lot of journals, in fact, and they finish one and they start the other one. And you know how they say, when you energetically attract things, things just fall into place. So every relative of mine just buys journals for my children, because they're like, I think this is something you and your children will appreciate. And I'm like, thank you. So we get these beautiful journals from everybody, which are meant for children. They write their gratitudes, their forgiveness. So that's a beautiful start. But what I have also committed to myself this week is that I will sit with them in meditation between 5 to 10 minutes before they sleep, which is extremely important. They do this on and off. They have started the journey of meditation on and off between 5 to 10 minutes. But I want to increase it. They're 10 years old now, and it's commitment from me to myself that I must invest this time and make sure that they are able to sit with themselves for 10 to 15 minutes by the end of this year at least.
Yeah, It's really important. I think these are the people who will take the baton of conscious living forward, and as mothers, as parents, we can easily pass these good qualities to them, and they can share it with their friends. And you're doing a phenomenal job, as a mother, as a wife, as an entrepreneur, Meher. So in all of this stuff, who is anchoring you, or who holds space for you when you are out of alignment?
So I have been asked this question previously, and I've been thinking about it a lot. What I feel is my anchor is my mission. That my reason to incarnate. Every time I feel a little disaligned, or I feel a little lost, or I feel a little bit thrown off or thrown under a bus, I just remind myself I'm here on a mission. I'm here to serve. I'm here on a purpose. I did not go through so much pain for 13-14 years of my life for no reason. So I don't let anything impact me. I just keep life straight ahead. I take it head on. Any challenge that comes my way, I see it with what is the learning for me in this. So I'm very conscious about everything, but my anchor is me remembering that I am here on a mission, and that's it. So nothing else can distract me. So I'm like, I call myself a military officer, like, on a mission, need to complete the mission. So I'm very, very focused, and anything comes in the mission, I will not, I will not go by that. So I will stick to that. I will not do late nights during the week, because I need to get up early in the morning, meditate, come here to the office, be on top of things, be on my game. And I will not let anything come in the way of it. Everything else are distractions. Everything else are painkillers. And I've lived with it before. I've lived on painkillers. I've wanted to shop. I wanted to try things. I wanted to travel, because I thought that would heal my pain.
Yeah.
But nothing heals your pain. You are the one who can heal your pain. So it's no point living on those painkillers. Everything else in life, except your mission, your connection with yourself, is painkiller. Mm-hmm. Because we want something in life. We are unfulfilled in a certain area in our life, and we just take to painkillers. And since I've experienced it, I will never go back on those.
Beautiful. So with this interview coming to a wrap, I would get into a lighter section, which is the rapid fire. Okay, so I'll be asking you your few favorites, and you can answer them, or you can describe them, right? So let's begin. Are you ready for it?
Excited.
So what's your favorite movie and why?
My favorite movie?
Yeah.
So I like biopics. Mm-hmm. And I get very inspired and very hyper with biopics. Like, I don't remember one, but biopics are amazing. I love Mahatma Gandhi's story, any story that that shows that internal strength can shift things. I love biopics.
Okay.
Autobiographies.
Mm-hmm. What's your favorite holiday destination?
I love France and Italy.
Okay. What's your favorite book?
So there are three: The State of the Soul, Untethered Soul, and Salt for Happy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I always take to them. They're like my Bibles. They're on my bedside. I always take to them when I'm in doubt.
Beautiful. Who's your favorite mentor? Or this person that inspires you?
So I think there are so many. Everybody comes to your life for a reason. They teach you something. So I cannot pinpoint at one, but of course, there's been family members. There've been people in the media and industry like Oprah Winfrey, Joe Dispenza, Bruce Lipton. I've learned so much from all of them. Mm-hmm. So it's always like the books that I read inspire me. So there are so many mentors. I think everybody talks to you and gives you a message you need to learn. So I would say there are many mentors.
Your favorite superhero?
It's Supergirl. I think we all in us to be a Supergirl, and why not?
Oh, absolutely. I think you are one of them. I think this was the short, rapid fire. So thank you, Meher, so much for your time. And if people want to, who are listening to this podcast, want to reach out to you, how can they connect with you?
Thank you so much for asking this question. So I'm available online. Of course, I have an Instagram channel. I have LinkedIn, Meher Mirchandani. You can follow me. And my website, please don't forget to visit my website, mehermirchandani.com. It has a lot of free resources. It also has a Self-Love quiz to evaluate where you stand in your journey. There are a lot of articles, a lot of downloadables. The journal actually is a challenge, a 7-day challenge and a 30-day challenge. You can download the journal and start your journey today. So yes, there's a lot available everywhere. YouTube channel, my podcast, Spotify. I'm Come Alive, the Spotify where I post is Come Alive, Don't Just Exist with Meher Mirchandani, and YouTube as well.
Wow. So she's pretty approachable, and you can connect with her, appreciate her work, leave some love for her. And I'm sure you're going to take a lot from this podcast. So subscribe to the Millionaire Way podcast show and be a part of our journey through this 1 hour of deep conversation. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you so much.